I know you just had a special anniversary.
I did.
16th anniversary was this weekend, and you were down in Mexico?
Yes.
16th anniversary of your accident.
Yes.
Wow.
So I call it my Alive Day, and I decided to spend the day down in Mexico surfing a point break called K38.
Yes.
And
very famous break.
it was awesome.
Big waves?
You know, they started small and it picked up. I had a really fun day. It was really great.
And so when you do that, it's allowing you to sort of accept, okay, this is where my life is. Look at, I've been to Rio, I've been to London, I've been to Beijing, I've been to Athens. You've been all these different experiences because of what happened to you when you were snowboarding that day.
Yeah, it's a lot to process. I couldn't think of a better way than sitting out in the middle of the big blue ocean, waiting between sets and just kind of reflecting on it all. I've been in a chair 16 years. In that 16 years, I was able to learn about adaptive sports. About 2 years after my accident, I learned about wheelchair basketball.
It got a gold medal, by the way.
Yeah. Well, how it happened was I learned about the sport, and then I realized how much I needed the equipment to be able to participate. And that's where the Challenged Athletes Foundation came in.
How'd you find us?
I Googled you, and it was this amazing thing.
Back
I learned
we're talking
2002.
I didn't even know Google was around. Wow.
It was a thing. Yeah, on my Dell Inspiron, old laptop.
On your Mac 1, yeah.
Yeah. So, it was a really, it was a huge blessing to learn about CAF and what they do for athletes with disabilities, giving people what they actually need to get active again.
Yes.
I was an athlete before my injury, 3-sport athlete,
right,
full-on disabled, and thought that my life was over. And little did I know,
it was just beginning.
And the Challenge Athletes Foundation made that possible for me. I was able to buy a basketball chair. Challenge Athletes Foundation bought my first monoski, and more recently my first kayak. I've competed in 5 Paralympic Games and 3 sports.
3 different sports, and got 2 golds.
3 golds, 2 silvers, 1 bronze.
Yeah, and you're the only person, Paralympics or Olympics, to have a gold only woman, to have a gold in summer and winter, correct?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Honor. Yeah.
It is a really big honor. So, some of the coolest things that have happened to you since you've been
that's kind of the stuff I was thinking about out in the lineup yesterday. I'm processing my life, and as hard as it is really to be a person with a significant disability, to wake up and get into this wheelchair every day, I can't help but feel so blessed by it. I'm really, really fortunate to be an athlete with a disability in the United States, been given the equipment that I need and the opportunities that allow for me to do what I love. So, I've thought a lot about how hard sometimes it is, because I respect my experience, but more often than not, it's all really cool stuff. I've met the president multiple times. I found myself on the SB's red carpet.
Yes.
I've rang the stock exchange bell, and there's just all this really amazing pinch me moment kind of stuff that's happened, and I'm really incredibly blessed.
But I see you light up when you see Kumaka, or you see some of these kids, right?
Absolutely.
Who are, fortunately you were older when this happened.
Yeah.
When someone is like 4, 5, 6 years old, has that traumatic injury, and their parents don't know what's next.
Right.
How important has that been for you to be that person, to be that conduit, to let them know, hey, Challenged Athletes Foundation is there. We can get you you want a skateboard? We'll get you a skateboard chair.
Yeah. I actually just got a comment on my post yesterday on Instagram from Kumaka. He's just like, I can't wait to surf with you, and it's a huge part of what I'm doing now after I've retired from Paralympic sport for the most part. I'm working on getting surfing into the games if that happens.
Then you'll come back for your 38th Olympic team. Paralympic.
Basically. But giving back now is where my heart's at, and I've been given so much, and part of that is helping people learn about the Challenged Athletes Foundation. And the best part is really teaching these little kids how to surf and play basketball and ski, whatever they want to do, and just help them sort of realize they can do anything if they put their mind to it.
There's really no limits.
Yeah.
So some of in terms of the kids you work with and see them when you're out at San Diego Triathlon Challenge. Sometimes you forget you see, in a typical day, you might be the only person in a wheelchair that you see.
Right.
But when you come out there and you see 144 challenged athletes, it makes you realize that there's a lot going on out there, and CAF has still a lot of work to do. Yeah,
well, what a huge impact CAF is making, though. And one of the best days of the year, it's the best day in tri, hands down, but the best day of the year for me is the San Diego Triathlon Challenge, because it's for the first time in some of these kids' life, they do get to coexist and mingle and play with people that are like them.
Exactly.
So, they're single leg amps, and we're all running around, and you'll see some of these kids just kind of like playfully steal each other's prosthetics, and it's like, where can they do that in any other environment? And it's heartwarming, but it's hugely impactful, and I know these kids look forward to it every year.
I remember one of the moms came up to me a couple of years ago, and she said, you guys don't realize how special this is. For 364 days a year,
right.
My son feels like a freak. For one day, he's like everybody else.
Yes.
And you don't really think about that and how important that is. Mm-hmm. The equipment you mentioned, that we got your wheelchair, basketball chair, and then a mono ski, and then a kayak,
and a surfboard.
It's right. So all those things that when you travel to other countries of the world, you realize how limited people are who are dealing with the same type of challenges. How important is that for the next generation to have that equipment?
The bigger the impact that the Challenged Athletes Foundation makes in our world here in the United States, the more that it will trickle over to other people, I think. And it's so eye-opening to travel and to realize there are athletes with disabilities in other countries that will never get to reach their fullest potential because they don't have the equipment.
Which seems so minimal, right? They get a piece of equipment.
Right. A basketball chair. And to see these people get to play for the first time, I've been fortunate enough to coach and teach kids how to move and play. And it's the most moving thing I've ever been a part of, to see somebody who's never been able to be mobile figure out how to play. That's like amazing.
And seeing that it is all about that. With so many of our kids, Rudy, back in the day, it wasn't about becoming a runner triathlete. It was like, I want him to be able to play and play with his friends, and see how that one piece of equipment changed everything.
It's a right. Everybody should have the right to play.
The right to play. There we go.
Yeah.
Alana, thanks so much for
pleasure.
Being such a special ambassador for CAF. I love what you bring to the table.
It's the least I can do. The Challenged Athletes Foundation changed my life in so many ways and continues to do so. So I'm happy to give back. I'm happy to preach the good word about the Challenged Athletes Foundation and share it with the world. So thank you for having me.
All right. And again, to help out the next generation of athletes, donatecaf.com. 858-866-0959. A $50 donation gets you a chance to win an Xterra backpack, which is pretty sweet. A $10 donation, a chance to win a trip for two to San Diego Triathlon Challenge, our favorite weekend of the year. Or a trip to our Heroes Heart and Hope Gala. You've been there as well. That's pretty special.
That's a great event. Tears will flow. But it's a great time too. It's moving.
It's very moving. Alana Nichols has been our guest. This is a breakfast from CAF. Want to thank everybody for being involved today. Thank you all for your amazing support of CAF.